What is going on, Raider Nation? It's your boy Sanjit back at it with another video. Today we're going to break down the tape of Sincere McCormick, and we're going to watch some of these big runs that this guy had. Sincere McCormick, to me, is definitely a really good running back. Now, he might not be Saquon Barkley or Bijan Robinson, but Sincere McCormick is a good running back that can play in the different various run schemes, and I think for the Raiders, you get yourself a good running back in McCormick. This is a guy that I personally think could be here long-term for the Las Vegas Raiders. And today, we're going to break down what we see from McCormick. I'm excited for this one. Let's just get right into it. So on this one here, the Raiders are going to run a power-based concept referred to as duo. You're going to get double teams at the point of attack. You're going to climb that up to the linebackers. And it looks very similar to split zone. I mean, truth be told, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference unless you really focus in on some of the different footwork and some of the different angles the way these guys are going to ultimately take. You can also tell the responsibilities based off of, like, for example, Colton Miller, the way he's going to block towards number 50 and how he reads this with the guard. These two guys are going to read it up to number 54. 54 is going to fill. And you see the guard get off that and pick up 54. It's a nicely designed concept, but McCormick does a really nice job reading this play to the correct side. Now, the one thing duo has very similar to zone is you can basically cut this into, whatever gap you essentially see fit. And on this one here, McCormick's going to run this right through the A gap, right? He's going to run it right where 54 is standing. The guard also does a really good job being able to get to 54. And McCormick, you guys keep an eye on him here. He's going to press this towards the right? So as soon as he gets the football, he's going to fake towards the right a little bit. You see that little movement right there to the right. And that's going to make 54 hesitate a little bit towards that same side, which allows the guard to make contact with him. That's a good job right there, right? You can see 54 starts to lean into it a little bit towards the right. McCormick comes back. He's going to get 5 yards on 2nd and 7. He does a really nice job being able to drag Levante David on this one. You're also going to get this 3rd and 1 play where the Raiders are going to pop for 29 yards. Just a really good job once again. And once again, Sincere McCormick making plays, breaking tackles. And once again, on the offense side of the football, the Raiders are going to end up running a really nicely designed concept. This one looks like some sort of counter play to me. And Sincere McCormick's going to do a really good job being able to recognize and kind of hitting the gap. I want to just kind of give credit here to McCormick for the vision that he has within this play. We had a running back earlier on this season where the running back would see this play as soon as he gets the football. And as soon as he gets the ball here, he would just bang this right towards the inside, right where this play may be designed or where he might initially get a crease, especially since it's 3rd and 1. But McCormick, on the other hand, is not only going to take the football, but you're going to see him bend this back towards the right. And as he bends this towards the right, he's going to be able to hit that gap. And not only does he hit the gap, he picks up 29 yards after breaking multiple tackles. Right, you got McCormick here breaking 2 tackles, kind of running away from it, and picking up like an extra 15 yards basically. That's a really good job right there by Sincere McCormick, and this is one of the reasons why I think McCormick definitely has a ton of upside. Right, I think McCormick is one of those guys that for the Raiders could long-term be one of our 2 or 3 running backs that actually ends up getting a ton of carries. You're going to run power on this one once again. Very basic power-based concept. Every team runs this play. You're going to essentially block down. The guard's going to pull, get out in front, and lead. But one thing that not every running back does is hit this to the gap where it's not designed to go. And I keep saying that point because one of the things that happened earlier on this season, especially with Zamir White, Alexander Madison, although he was better, he still struggled at times as well, was these guys only ran it to the gap, especially in these power-based concepts. And that's not how you want to run these plays, right? You can tell based off of the down block here by DJ Glaze. You get a block here by Michael Mayer. You get a couple of out blocks here. You get the guard that's going to lead through and most likely pick off number 26 here, which means this play should theoretically squeeze through this gap here, right? It should squeeze towards the left side of DJ Glaze, but in between the defensive end there. Once again, it's important to recognize that if there's a different gap, you want to be able to bend it into that other gap, right? Because that gap may ultimately get you more yards. And in this instance, Sincere McCormick does just that, right? That right there is good vision. And that's what the Raiders missed earlier on this season. And I think with Sincere McCormick, the Raiders definitely got a running back that has that quick footwork. He has that vision. He can change direction. To me, this is part of why I think Sincere McCormick for the Raiders should get every single carry going forward, right? We should not give a carry to literally any other person outside of McCormick. Also, his ability to break tackles, his ability to get yards after contact, I think is also very impressive. You're going to bring in one extra offensive tackle here, and you're basically going to just play power football, right? You're going to get a double, a down block, back block, back block. You pull the guard, and essentially you're going to hit that right into that gap there. And once again, Sincere McCormick's going to do a nice job being able to see it. This one's going to pick up about 6.5, 7 yards. Just a really, really nice job by these guys up front. But really, it's McCormick breaking tackles as well, right? Just backing this up here, Thayer Munford is actually not going to pick up the right guy. He should have actually double teamed and climbed up to Levante David, and he's not going to do that. He's going to almost get stuck to this one guy, and David just kind of goes right around there, sets up in the gap. And that's a really good read, but of course, McCormick's able to kind of break through that. Let me just watch this here from the all 22 angles. A little bit more impressive. Watch David get into the gap. And watch McCormick just run right through it, man. It's a really, really good job right there. Should have been stopped for no yards. And it's nicely blocked by all the other guys. Unfortunately, Munford's the only guy that doesn't really get to his block. But I really like what I see from Sincere McCormick. I hope the Raiders continue to feature him. And I hope we continue to mix things up as well, right? We've run a lot of power-based concept with McCormick. Here's an actual zone running concept. Again, a little bit different than power. And McCormick does a pretty good job with the vision, right? Had the offensive lineman stuck to the block a little bit better, and I understand Vita Vea's arguably the best defensive tackle in the NFL when it comes to defending the run. McCormick picks up maybe a little bit more yards. He picks up about 3.5, 4 yards on this one, but you can definitely see that in the zone scheme, he's not as efficient as he is in the power scheme. And again, it's just a little bit different, right? Zone, you have a lot more gaps that you have to kind of read. Power, it's a lot smaller. You got another one here, 2nd and 5. This one's going to be duo. And then once again, you're going to see McCormick hit this, bend this, and pick up about 5 yards. It's a really nice run once again. We got a couple more plays I want to show you guys. You're going to get an 11-yard run on this one. You're going to get a pin pull concept. And the Raiders do a nice job up front. And McCormick's going to hit this for 11 yards. It's a great job here going up against this front. You got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage, only 1 linebacker. So what that means is if you're going to run pin pull, the play has the potential to hit, right? But you got to get the blocks to ultimately be made correctly, right? So watch the block here on 43. It's a good job right there by the tight end. DJ Glaze is going to pull out towards the left. Dylan Parham has a reach block on number 96, but 96 is going to jump to the inside. As soon as 96 jumps inside, he's going to release and he's going to pick off the linebacker. With that, when 96 jumps inside, Jackson Powers Johnson has to take 96. He does a good enough job given the fact that this guy was shaded way far to the outside of him. And both DJ Glaze and Dylan Parham do a really nice job blocking downfield, and you're going to pick up 11 yards on this one. Just a really, really good job. Now, Jordan Meredith is not going to be able to get to his guy. We can watch Meredith here. He has a difficult block. Kind of gets stopped right there as well. If he's able to get to the safety faster, that's a touchdown. On this one here, and again, it's a hard block, right? Because you're running a run stunt with the defensive lineman up front. And the run stunt's also away from the actual play, which is one of the reasons why this play pops. But if Jordan Meredith picks off the safety down here, this is a touchdown right here. But it is what it is. It happens. It's regardless still a really, really nicely designed concept. I want to show you guys actually 2 more plays. We're going to get a 4th and 1, and the Raiders are going to pick up 2 yards, and they're going to run power. This play right here was a big part of the game for the Raiders, right? Specifically because it was 4th and 1. We're down 10-14. 6 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. You had a nice drive up to this point. You want to continue that drive, right? And these are moments that matter. The more times you do this right here, where it's 4th and 1 and you pick it up, the better you will be as a team as you kind of go forward, right? And it's a very, very basic concept. Everyone's going to block down here. Everyone blocks down. You kick out with the guard. And it's just a nicely designed concept. It works. Only needed a yard. And then finally, this was the last play that Sincere McCormick ran. Once again, the Raiders are going to run zone on this one, right? So a lot of duo power, some zone, right? I think I counted 3 zone runs that Sincere McCormick had. This one picks up 4 yards. If you guys slow it down, you guys can see kind of where the running back's aiming looks like towards the inside hip of the guard. Which is where you'd want to run this inside zone concept. And there's really no movement here. Levante David jumps this gap as well. So you're going to want to cut this back towards the left. And that's exactly what you want to do on this play. Now, one of the things to note within this play is, if 43 comes downhill, Desmond Ritter can pull this. right? And maybe it's not designed in the game plan right now for Desmond Ridder to pull it, because obviously coming in, Aiden O'Connell is the guy, and you're not going to run Aiden O'Connell to pull these, right? But if Desmond Ridder starts against Falcons, he's pulling the football on some of these, right? So it's going to be an interesting thing to kind of note. You know, this week here with Ridder in, we're going to run more zone, right? Half of these shotgun snaps will have that read option element into it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm obviously not the type of guy to break down running backs. It's not a position I've studied. It's not a position I really analyze or break down. I'm an O-line guy. You guys know that. I do D-line as well. But I wanted to still touch in on some of these Sincere McCormick runs. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with another video.